I'm Sandie Gravett, and I am a professor in the Department of Philosophy and Religion at Appalachian State University. I have been at Appalachian for 20 years, and I have been teaching online almost half of that time now. Because everybody's accustomed to having a smartphone in their hand all the time, they can Google the kinds of information that we used to test on. And so testing and the way you think about what constitutes a good learning experience has changed. So I'm constantly evaluating what is it that I want my students to be able to do? What's the outcome that I want to achieve? Because it's not so much necessarily mastering a body of facts as it is being able to communicate and think through that material and apply it in unique ways instead of becoming complacent as an instructor. You're constantly having to think about how to adapt what you do to a changing environment. I try to combine my learning assignments in religious studies with skills that students will need to transfer to their jobs no matter what they do. So I have my students, for example, doing social media assignments that will say, can you communicate effectively about this topic in a social media situation? Can you post a really inventive video resource? Can you discern different media feeds about how religion is operating in a social environment and think through those things? I think part of what you do in a virtual environment is you teach people to work as a virtual community. And that's been one of the big emphases in my classes. In religious studies, a lot of what we do is discussion-based and group-based. And it was very important to my department that we keep that ethos in the online environment. So even though it's an asynchronous environment and it is over the course of a 15-week, 16-week semester, we still try to keep that sense of community. And of course, a virtual community is a little bit different from a face-to-face community. But when I look at my student evaluations, those projects are the ones that get the highest evaluation because they feel connected. One of the things that I learned very quickly is that simply transcribing what you do in a traditional classroom into the online experience is ineffective. Students don't want to sit down and listen to 30 or 45-minute videos, particularly in the culture now where everybody works off of a handheld device. It's finding ways to communicate what is important about your subject matter in new ways. And the challenge of this for me as a teacher has been, it's not only, I guess, maybe the world that's changing and your subject matter that's changing with the world, but it's also the way that you deliver your subject matter that is constantly in transformation. I redo my online classes every year because the technology changes, what I need to be doing changes, and so it's always a process of relearning and rethinking what you're doing in the classroom. I've gone fully online now, and one of the interesting pieces of that for me was moving away from the university back to my hometown, Greensboro, North Carolina. The freedom that it's given me as a faculty member to live where I want to live, to pursue my own work and projects. Because I spend so much time at the computer, my own writing has accelerated, my scholarship production has accelerated. So these are all positives for me as a faculty member.